to the law of attraction that so many New Age practitioners utilize today. They telegraph their plans by implanting the same thoughts and ideas into millions of people's heads over and over again until that idea reaches its apex and becomes normal.
Imagine a virus, the most terrifying virus you can.
The security of this nation depends on complete and total compliance. To understand how close we are to chaos, I want this country to realize that we stand on the edge of oblivion.
In the former United States, civil war continues to devastate the Midwest.
Outside the quarantine zone, a new airborne pathogen has killed 27 people.
Several soldiers have just broken into the studio. They're fully armed and they're wearing respirators on their faces.
Shut it down!
Hey, you ever heard of a little number called freedom of speech? Bill of Rights? Folks, I've just been ordered by my uninvited fascist guests to shut down, and I've refused.
Once this idea is normalized, they're able to roll it out with little to no resistance. And the people, they eat it up because they've been conditioned to do so. If we want to know what's coming, all we have to do is look in the Bible. We know that certain events are going to take place. And these events result in the collapse of society, the rise of a one-world government, a universal religion, and the implementation of a mandatory digital currency. All these things will culminate with the unveiling of their Messiah, who we know as the man of sin himself, or the Antichrist. All the magic in the world cannot stop this from happening, but what it can do is trick the masses into believing their twisted version of reality. And that's exactly what they're doing. Of America after the virus takes hold.
The Federal Pandemic Agency has released new guidelines for combating the emerging viral outbreak.
Then they start showing us exactly what we are seeing on the news today. Make sure to use plenty of hand sanitizer. And wash your hands often. We see empty grocery store shelves.
Safety first.
Elites going into bunkers. And even the President of the United States doesn't make it out.
There's got to be a vaccine. You mean to tell me the President of the United States doesn't have a vaccine?
There is no vaccine.
Something fishy's going on, if you ask me.
And there's the presidential hearse as they head towards Arlington Cemetery.
How is it possible that they knew these events were coming back in 2015? August 23rd, 2015, Season 1 of the TV show Fear the Walking Dead premieres, and it features none other than a virus that wipes out the world's population.
They don't know if it's a virus or a microbe. They don't know, but it's spreading.
In 2007, a miniseries called Pandemic is released. A new deadly virus infects a man who then brings it to Los Angeles on a flight from Australia. Chaos ensues and martial law is enacted. The National Guard is mobilized and they quarantine the city with a shoot-to-kill order for everybody who tries to leave.
Trying to tell us this is a flu. There's no way in hell. You know, if the government has seen fit to release this deadly disease, I'm trying to thin out the herd a little bit, make us all fall in line, do their little monkey dance. We are going to survive the unconstitutional imprisonment of Los Angeles.
I have issued an executive order imposing martial law. Order and safety will prevail. And I have ordered the National Guard to preserve the quarantine.
Absolutely nobody gets past us. We shoot if we have to.
In 2013, a Korean film is released. This movie depicts the same thing. A new virus wipes out population centers and causes chaos, food shortages, and martial law. In 1995, the movie 12 Monkeys features a post-apocalyptic society that was wiped out by a mysterious disease.
I am simply trying to gather information to help the people in the present trace the path of the virus.
Contagion, 2011. A new strain of coronavirus transfers from a bat to a human in China and goes on to wreak havoc over the population centers of the world. In 2014, a show called The Last Ship premieres. In this show, a U.S. Navy destroyer is on a secret mission when a new virus wipes out the world, and they are the only known survivors.
Most of our population is dying or dead.
2005, the movie V for Vendetta premieres. In this movie, a virus takes out the world, and the end result is an authoritarian world where the government controls every aspect of your life. Then we have the 1978 book, The Stand, by Stephen King. In this book, a weaponized virus is accidentally released in a military bioweapons laboratory. One of the people who worked at the laboratory escapes the lockdown and proceeds to spread the virus to the people who work at a gas station. The government tries to quarantine the affected areas, however, it's too late. The virus spreads throughout the world and eliminates 99% of the world's population. The survivors are led by supernatural entities who guide them into a battle between the forces of good and evil. And finally, we have the infamous I Pet Goat 2, which is said to be a blueprint for the rise of the Antichrist as made by the occultists themselves. In this short film, we see world events happen like 9/11 and Osama bin Laden. Then we see an evil man on TV talking non-stop about something to a sick and dying man who is lying on the floor, who is surrounded by medications and medical equipment. In the man's eyes, we see the stock market collapse, which leads to World War III and the rise of the kingdom of the Antichrist. They've been shoving this in our faces for a very long time, starting with the 1954 book I Am Legend, where a mysterious disease wipes out mankind, turning them into monsters. Now, we can go on and on listing movies, video games, and TV shows that feature a civilization-ending virus, but I think you get the idea by now. Are the events that we are currently seeing on the news going to usher in the beast system and kick off the Book of Revelation?